Hello, and welcome. If it's your first time tuning in, my name is Ian Kayanja, and you're listening to the Vertical Jump podcast, where I can give it to you straight. We talk anything in sports, anything that fascinates me in sports, kind of all the social stuff that happens around sports, and we don't shy away from those conversations because we want to have these conversations. We want to talk about things because that's how we get ideas pushed forward and narratives told, and the people of sports get celebrated a little bit more. Today, the show's not going to be long at all. In fact, because, I'm in college and I got a lot of stuff going on, and I had just a short little couple things that were on my mind. Maybe it'll be 10, 15 minutes. You can tune in, enjoy. And the thing that was really pressing on me was this Andrew Luck stuff. And if you somehow don't know, and if you live under a boulder, Andrew Luck retired last Saturday at 29 years old. And everybody was floored by it initially. We're like, why would somebody retire in the prime of their career? And I sat there trying to put together the pieces. And you have to understand that Andrew Luck isn't the first to ever do this. If you guys remember Calvin Johnson, Megatron, he did the same thing, kind of retired when he still felt that he was in his prime. And even before that, Jim Brown retired when he was 29. And so the whole thing of people being shocked that Andrew Luck retired, I understand that it came out of nowhere, but it also isn't the first time it happened. People were acting like it's never happened before, and that just wasn't the case. In fact, what I deduced from this Andrew Luck situation was this. Andrew Luck wasn't the first guy that's going to retire in the middle of his prime, and he's not going to be the last guy. You see, Andrew Luck, he was a good quarterback, in my opinion, slightly overrated, but nonetheless a good quarterback who, if put in the right situation, would have had a Hall of Fame career. But he didn't have a Hall of Fame career, and he wasn't put in the right situation. And his first 4 years in Indiana was spent with him battling injury, having one of the worst offensive lines in the league, him getting hit a lot, and because of that, he got hurt. He felt as though he couldn't play up to his potential. He felt as though football was no longer fun because he was always hurt. And in his interview, he talked about him being in this endless cycle of injury, rehab, playing, injury, rehab, playing, and just couldn't break out of it. And so people were floored by his retirement. People said, projected Hall of Fame quarterback retires at 29. And is it crazy if I dare to say that this might become the new norm? Because again, he's not the first guy to do it, and nor will he be the last guy to do it. But I think that a lot more guys are going to be considering retirement earlier when it comes to professional sports. Now, depending on your professional sport, it can obviously vary because there's cases of extremes in each sport. Tom Brady is an extreme in football. He's 41 and still going. And Andrew Luck is kind of on the other end. He's an extreme that he was 29 and couldn't do it anymore. People's bodies are different, but why mortgage your body if you've secured all that you wanted to out of the sport? Now, I know Andrew Luck didn't win a Super Bowl. He was 0-6 against the Patriots, but he played football at the highest level. He collected a lot of money, and he's intelligent. He's incredibly smart. What else does he have left to give? What else is worth risking at this point? And I also dare to say that Andrew Luck is a case of over-specialization within American sports. We tell kids from a young age that they're 7, 8 years old, oh, you're going to be a pitcher, you're going to be a quarterback, you're going to be a basketball player. And over-specialization can cause wear and tear on the body. It can cause overuse of those muscles and tendons, and it leaves you more susceptible to injury. Andrew Luck played Texas football since he was 8, 9. He was probably a quarterback from that point. And that's the reality of it. You get worn out. There was a piece on ESPN about a month ago or so that talked about Kids are playing too many basketball games, so by the time that they get to the NBA, their bodies are already worn out. And I believe that's true for every professional sport. Kids are playing too many games because they're told from an early age, if you want to be a professional athlete, commit yourself to the game, and that's all you can do. And that's a dangerous thing in every aspect. If you only play football and you're a quarterback and you're only a quarterback, your body doesn't get used to any other form of athletic motion. That throwing motion of the football wears those shoulder tendons out. It wears the arm muscles out. So what happened to Andrew Luck? He hurt his shoulder, and that kept him out of season. You know, when he came out of Stanford, everybody was convinced that this is the guy that's going to be the next quarterback for the next generation. He's going to be the best quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to be that guy. He's going to be up there with the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Bradys, the Steve Youngs, the Brett Favres. Talked about in that category, the Dan Marinos. And what's sad is he never got his moment. You never had that 1 year where Andrew Luck set the league on fire. You never had that 1 year when he just would refuse to lose and carried that Colts team to the Super Bowl. Each great quarterback has had it. But Andrew Luck, it's almost as if we were robbed of it. And we're robbed of it for a bevy of reasons. I've already stated them. Over-specialization, his bad O-line, injuries. And so when people were floored by Andrew Luck retiring early, the timing of it shocked me, but at the same time, you have to understand where he was coming from. What else did he have to lose? And what else did he have to gain by playing football? Answer that question for me. And especially those Colts fans that booed him when he was walking off the field. What more did he have to gain from the game of football than more injuries, more pain? Guys have families. They want to be able to walk when they're older. They want to be able to move around. They want to be able to enjoy life. They don't want to walk in crippling pain because they want to be seen as a gladiator in the eyes of many. And I dare to say that you're foolish if you think that way. You only get one life to live. Whatever sport you play, whether that's basketball, football, baseball, you only get one life to live. And after baseball's over, after football's over, after basketball's over, you're going to have a lot more years to you. So, the next time people think that, hey, Andrew Luck should have sacrificed his body, he should have played through that pain that he was going to be feeling, he should have, gutted out a 15, 16-year career. I dare say for what? For approval in the eyes of the media? For approval in the eyes of the fan? Aren't the only people that he has to prove anything to himself? Aren't those the only people that have to approve him is himself? If he's content with where he's at and if he's content with what he did in his career, why question that? Now, his retirement was tough, and it was tough seeing him cry. But my still residing question is, why is it that fans feel as though players owe them their bodies? You're just a fan. And if somebody can't deal with the pain anymore, if somebody can't, walk, keeps getting hit, then you learn to live with it and you let that player move on into the next chapter of his life. Because for Andrew Luck, there's a life after football. Football has been a big part of his life, but it doesn't define who he is. And we think as fans that, these athletes, their sport defines who they are. No, because want to know what? Andrew Luck plays football on Sundays as entertainment, and then he comes home to a family. Comes home to his wife, to people that love him and care about him. And to me, those people matter more than a random fan that he's never met. And he wants to be able-bodied for those people. Football isn't the only way that he can provide for his family. Andrew Luck's incredibly intelligent. So, to all those upset with Andrew Luck for retiring, it's his career. He made his decision, And he chose to be able to walk and move and be mobile and be happy over anything else. And you can't fault a man for thinking that way. That's just my take. That's my opinion, and that's how I feel. I want to thank you guys for listening to this really short Vertical Jump podcast. I'm sorry that it's not longer. It's been the first couple weeks of school, first couple weeks of the semester, and I've been incredibly busy. I promise to make it up to you guys with another show soon. I might do one on Saturday because this one was incredibly short. As always, may the rest of your day be the best of your day. I thank y'all for listening, and I thank y'all for supporting.